What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Raw and Uncut New York Sports, where we talk about the Mets, the Nets, and the Giants. Hope everybody is doing well. For this one, I kind of wanted to go around the National League East and just, give my few thoughts on what's going on around the division, what the Mets are facing. Obviously, most of the games are coming against the NL East. Of course, another portion of the schedule is against the American League East. But I kind of wanted to go around the, our division and kind of seeing where every team is at. It's kind of hard to gauge because you got the Marlins who, decided to get themselves and the fucking Phillies contaminated with this COVID bullshit. So they've only played 6 games. The Phillies have only played 6 games. The Nationals haven't played many games either. I think they've played about 8 games. So really, the only ones that have played all of their scheduled games are the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves. So it's kind of hard to compare who's doing what because the numbers are kind of screwed up, right? It's just not even. But we can kind of, we can still go around and, play with it a little bit and, like I said, kind of see what the Mets are up against, right? I guess we can start with let's start with the Atlanta Braves because I think the Atlanta Braves coming into 2020 were probably the favorite to win the division, as they did in 2019. Now starting off, they had Nick Markakis, he opted out. Felix Hernandez, he opted out. You also had Cole Hamels, who landed on the IL, so they're not sure when he'll be back for them. On top of that, they have Freddie Freeman, who, had COVID, and so he kind of, been a little slow. And I think the biggest news for the Braves so far has been Mike Soroka. That Achilles tear is no joke. That was ugly, man. That happened Monday night against the Mets. So that really, that kid is going to be good. That kid has the makeup of a really good pitcher. He's going to be one of the best pitchers in the majors. Maybe not next year, but soon. I mean, he's young enough. So he's got really good stuff. I really like him. I feel bad for him. But so now, kind of the rotation, the anchor of the rotation turns over to Max Fried. I don't think he's as good as Soroka. I think he can put in some quality starts here and there, but I'm not sure how good he can be. And the rest of that rotation is kind of a lot of question marks. So now, Mike Soroka going down really changes the dynamic of that pitching staff for the Braves. So like I said, there's a lot of question marks after Max Fried in that rotation. Their bullpen doesn't have as many question marks. It's actually I think it's a pretty good bullpen. They got 4 guys that have pitched a minimum of 3 innings, 4 innings, and they have 0 earned run average. I mean, it's a pretty stout bullpen, and on top of that, they get back. Who's the guy? Will Smith, who they signed in the winter. So that's gonna really boost their pen. I mean, I'm looking at it here, and I mean their bullpen. They got about 8 guys that have an ERA of 2.45 or less. And these are guys that have pitched 6, 8, 5, 4 innings. They've appeared in about anywhere from 4 to 6 games for the Braves this season. So that's a pretty good bullpen. They have a 5 1 record. So that's definitely been the strong part of that team, or at least one of the strengths of the team. So if we move over to the offense of the Braves, obviously Freddie Freeman has had a slow start. He's batting about 190, but he's still finding a way to get on base, and so that's always a good thing when your number 3 guy can get on base. Acuna has struggled a little bit, but he's kind of turned it around here in the past few games. I think he leads the league here in his last 7 games. He's batting .308, 1 home run, 4 RBIs. He's still striking out a lot. I think he's second in the majors in strikeouts with 21. So he's still struggling. And now I just read that Ozzy Albies, their starting second baseman, is put on the IL. So a little bit of bad luck. With this crazy season, it's gonna involve some good luck if you're gonna win, and if you don't win, if you come up short, it's probably some bad luck. All that shit is gonna be mixed in there. It's gonna be hard to stay healthy all throughout. It really is, and during a regular season, 162 game season, it's hard to stay healthy. And I mean, with all this shit going on, the late start, the short spring training, it's really tough. It's really tough. Let's see. Now, the one guy that's been tearing it up for the Braves, in my opinion, and I think if you've been watching all the Mets games, we've witnessed it firsthand. Dansby Swanson is absolutely playing really good baseball, especially against the Mets. I think 8 of his 13 RBIs have come against the Mets. He's batting .333 against us with a .379 on base percentage. So I think he's been their best hitter so far. Let's see. Overall, he's batting .314. 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. No, I'm sorry, 13 RBIs, 10 runs. I mean, that's pretty fucking good. And look, even though Freeman is struggling at the plate, like I said, he still has walked 10 times. Okay, he's walked 10 times and he's scored 10 runs. So not only is he getting on base, the guys behind him are driving him in. So that's, that tells you what kind of lineup the Braves have right there. And we've seen, and like I said, that's without Acuna really finding his groove. Ozuna is batting .279, that's about where he's at for his career. So, and he's got 3 home runs, 8 runs scored, and 6 RBIs. He's walked 10 times. So these guys are all getting on base and they're all driving each other in. So, like I said, that's a pretty good offense right there. I don't, they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be a tough out for this division. So we'll see how far they can make it without a true ace. And Albie's out for about 10 days is gonna hurt some. We can move over to the Nationals. The Nationals, they haven't played a lot of games either. And I guess another blow with this team is their ace, right? Although you can maybe argue that, they have 2 other aces. But, last night, Max Scherzer went down after 27 pitches playing the New York Mets. He had a hammy issue, and they just finished getting back Juan Soto last night. So that's a tough loss. I haven't read anything that Scherzer will miss a start or anything like that. I would assume that this is considered a minor injury, but with the craziness of 2020, who the fuck knows? Let's see. they're like I said, it's tough to compare, right? When to like look at stats and shit because they just don't have the same amount of games played as everybody else. They've played about four less games than the Braves and the Mets have. So now that bullpen is I'm sorry that rotation is gonna have to be led by Strasburg and Corbin if by chance Scherzer is injured long term. But I think their struggles also, they have some struggles in the bullpen. I don't think it's a very strong bullpen. A lot of their, as it was last year in 2019. The one signing that they had in the offseason, Starlin Castro, I think that was a pretty good signing. I mean, he's not going to blow you away with numbers or anything like that, but he is going to give you quality at bats, and he's just consistent. And if you need someone to give you consistency as far as like playing time at a certain position, I think Castro could definitely provide that. But like I said, it's just a really small sample size. Because if we move over to the Marlins and the Phillies, the sample sizes are even smaller. The Marlins somehow are 5-1. I don't know. I can't take them serious. I don't think anybody in the division, maybe even all of baseball, can take the Marlins serious. But I mean, they get no love, and they've won more fucking World Series than the Mets have in the past, 30 years. So go figure, right? Let's see. Let's move over to the Phillies. And again, I think the key for the Phillies is going to be Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler. I mean, when you have two starters like that, I think they're both really good starters. If you followed me on Twitter, I'm not happy about losing Zach Wheeler, especially to the Philadelphia Phillies. He's already 2-0 on the season. He's got a 2.08 ERA, 19 strikeouts, and he's only walked one batter. No, I'm sorry, he's only walked 4 batters. So, efficiency, man. That's what he's doing, and that's what he's gonna give you some innings. And he came out yesterday and says he likes to pitch. He's always dreamed of pitching to JT Realmuto, so I'm advocating for Realmuto to the Mets next winter. Hopefully we get to sign him, but shit, that makes me feel like Zach Wheeler's gonna push for Realmuto to stay with the Phillies, even though there's some contract issues there. You gotta wonder why the Phillies are taking so long to give this guy a contract. I think Realmuto's probably top 2, top 3 catcher in the league. I mean, because not only can he catch, right? Not only can he play the catcher's position, but he hits and he runs very well for a catcher. I really hope the Mets go after him. So, Zach Wheeler advocating for him kind of makes me nervous. Hopefully, Muto says fuck the Phillies and Steve Cohen will be in office for the Mets by then, and we can fucking sign him. But we'll see what happens with that. What else? And look, I mean, we can switch over to the Mets. We already know what the Mets issues are. Look, the Mets offense ranks in the top in quite a few categories. But in the bottom of runners in scoring, hidden with runners in scoring position. So you see what our season's looking like. There's a few games on our schedule that we should have won. Just poor hitting with runners in scoring position. And our pitching has been mediocre. We got a good start from Porcello last night. Our bullpen the last 3 days has really cleaned up their act. I mean, just a few days ago, we were the second worst bullpen with a 7+ ERA. Now our bullpen is ranked the 7th worst with a 5.33 ERA. So it's an improvement. And it's going to have to keep improving, because if you look at the teams that we play, the pesty Marlins, the Phillies, who on any day can score 6, 7, 8 runs with that. I think they have a pretty decent offense. And as I mentioned earlier, the Braves have a good offense. We can't afford to have the bullpen come in and not hold leads or keep us in the games and not allow any more runs. So our bullpen is getting better. It's not where we want it to be, but it is improving. Just over. Look, a 2-run difference in ERA, over the past 3 days, that's a huge improvement. So let's hope that it continues. Like I said, it's got no choice but to get better because we got some stiff competition in the division. And not only that, we got to play the fucking Yankees, we got to play the Rays, we got to play the Blue Jays. So definitely got to get better in that department. I don't think I need to say that. Look, we're only 15 games in, a little bit less, 13 or whatever, right? This is going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight for all the teams. I think the team that I fear the most are the Atlanta Braves because we've already played them and they've beat us 5 out of the 6 times, or 4 out of 6, I believe. No, we played 7, so they beat us 5 out of 7. We won the opener, and then we won game 4 of the last series where DeGrom pitched, right? So they got our fucking number. But we have to keep in mind that this is a weird season, and there are baseball gods, and they do exist, I believe. And look, Scherzer goes down, Mike Soroka goes down. Ozzy Albies goes down. The Phillies and the Marlins haven't played consistently. Now we go and we play the Marlins. The Marlins have been hot, I guess, if you want to say they've been hot. They won 5 of their first 6 games. Now they play us coming up tomorrow, Friday, for a weekend series, and then we go 4 games against the Nationals before playing the Phillies. So you see what I mean? It's going to be a dogfight for everybody because it's just the nature of playing within the division. So, right now I would say that the Braves, okay, and this is injuries aside. Obviously there are injuries that exist, but injuries aside, I think the Braves are a more complete team than anybody else in the division. And that's the team that we are going to have to beat when we play again, and hopefully in late August, September, we find ourselves scoreboard watching, and we'll need some help from some other teams to beat up on the Braves for us. Because right now we've kind of started on the wrong foot. We're 5-8. The Marlins are 5-1. Atlanta's 8-5. Somehow they're half a game behind, but again, weird season, weird standings. So yeah, and look, the fucking Braves are plus 20 run differential. We're at minus 15. They play the Blue Jays tonight, so hopefully the Blue Jays can do us a favor and beat the Braves for us. But yeah, that's about it. That kind of recaps the National League East. Hopefully the Mets are in it and we're not out of it by the time middle of August, end of August comes around. Hopefully we're definitely in this race, in this dogfight. So that's gonna be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just a little around the horn, around the National League East. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and check me out on Anchor. Until then, keep it raw and uncut.